Winter is here. Holy shit. What an episode and what a finale for Game of Thrones. As you guys can tell by the title of this video, this will be my review of Game of Thrones Season 6, Episode 10, The Winds of Winter. Of course, this is the season finale for Season 6 of Game of Thrones. And as well in this video as the episode, I'll be giving you guys my overall thoughts on the entire season as a whole and as well. So this may be a fairly lengthy video. I don't know just yet because I'm filming it, so I don't know the time frame. Of course, when it's all over, I will. But just a little forewarning in case anyone watching. Well, you'll know the time frame by the time you're watching, so I really have no reason to explain if it's going to be a long video or not, because you guys will know by the time it's up. But yeah, Game of Thrones Season 6, Episode 10 finale. Incredible. So much happened in this episode. It was so hard to digest everything that happened because so many things happened. The emotions running through this episode was just absolutely incredible. The feels, I couldn't even speak because so many speechless things were happening. All the events just, you had answers to the big question that's been wondered for years, and it's finally been answered here. The progression for the characters, in a big, you had a big pretty much idea of what's going to go with a lot of these characters going forward. Just so many things happened. It was a very, very eventful episode, and rightfully so. It's a finale episode, but so much happened that a lot of these events could have happened throughout a regular season, and it all got jam-packed in the one episode, which is absolutely incredible. But yeah, after last week's Battle of the Bastards episode, I thought for sure, that what's going to top this. I wasn't sure if episode 9 could be topped, but boy was I proven wrong, because this episode was absolutely amazing. And like I said, so much happened. I'm very, very, very excited for Season 7 already. And, it's going to be a 10-month wait again for Season 7 to start, but you know what? It's going to be absolutely worth it. And I'm just very, very incredibly excited. And one hell of an episode, of course. And King's Landing, of course, the big thing. The first 20 to 25 minutes was in King's Landing. The events happening, of course, setting for the trials of Loras Tyrell as well as Cersei Lannister. And just the first 20-25 minutes of the King's Landing was excellent. The piano music playing along with the scenes added so much to it. I thought the music was absolutely perfect. It fit it to a T, and like I said, it definitely helped out the scenes in my opinion. Just that incredible music. And by the way, side note, soundtrack for Season 6, amazing. Best soundtrack in any season so far in my opinion. But yeah, just the music playing with it. Of course, Loras Tyrell is the first one. Cersei and Tommen have not arrived. Cersei, of course, staying there, and Tommen not being allowed to go because the mountain was there guarding him, preventing him from going to the trial. And of course, in the trial, Loras Tyrell confesses to his sins and crimes, and commits to joining the High Sparrow and serving for the gods. So he gets the whole thing carved in his forehead and everything. So Loras Tyrell's pretty much, trial didn't happen. He confessed. Everything's fine with him. And of course, they're waiting for Cersei to arrive. Then Lancel pretty much figures out something's wrong because they haven't arrived yet, or Marjorie as well. They both trying to figure out something's going on. Lancel goes to pretty much seek out Cersei, but notices a little boy running, so he kind of chases him to wonder what the hell this kid's doing. Gets attacked underneath King's Landing, which is filled with wildfire. Lancel pretty much sees what's going to happen, so he pretty much has to crawl while he's bleeding out to pretty much prevent the whole thing from happening. What's about to happen. Marjorie senses it. Marjorie's trying to get the hell out. High Sparrow won't let her leave, and then eventually High Sparrow's thinking like, wait a minute, I think something could be happening. And all of a sudden, just wildfire spreads and completely explodes. I forgot the little things called not the keep, because Cersei's in the Red Keep, but the little thing where they did the trial and they do funerals, right? I forgot what that's called, so excuse me for that. It goes in the flames. Everyone dies. Marjorie, Loras, the High Sparrow, Lancel, who was underneath, any Lannister, any Tyrell that were in there. Everyone was dead, which is huge because you had so many deaths just from that. Marjorie and Loras and the High Sparrow were main characters. Now they're dead, which kind of sucks. I like the Tyrells to an extent. So it's kind of shitty to see Loras and Marjorie go, in my opinion. But yes, Cersei watches it from beyond, drinking her wine, pretty much taking it in, yeah, I did all that, which is pretty much signifying that Cersei is becoming the Mad Queen, which would pretty much be answered at the end of the episode. And of course, Tommen, who was not being let go in there, watches from his room, watches the explosion happen, and pretty much realizes that his life he just watched his life blow up in front of him. His wife, his kingdom, pretty much, just all in the flames. And he's a child, so what do you do when you have nothing at that point? Tommen just takes the crown off, goes out the window, and just falls straight to his death. And Tom Baratheon is dead, and or Tommen Lannister, I should say, because that's pretty much what he is dead. And to be honest, I could care less because Tommen was a shitty king, and I never liked him anyway. So Tommen's dead. Don't really care. Whatever shit happens. But yeah, the whole thing in King's Landing was absolutely insane. Just an incredible opening sequence there. And of course, we have up in the north, Sansa and Jon pretty much settling in at Winterfell. Pretty much telling each other they need to watch each other's back. And of course, you had a scene with Baelish and Sansa, or Baelish pretty much is stirring the pot up, saying that, you know, who's gonna win if the people choose you or Jon, pretty much. And that's, you know, Baelish just trying to stir shit like he always does. Which is kind of getting to Sansa's head, you know, she's trying to ignore it, but she's also, you can tell she's keeping in the back of her head that he may be right. And of course, Bran, who was saved by Benjen Stark, pretty much finds the next tree where he's able to morph into the three-eyed raven. Goes back in time to where he left off when the original three-eyed raven cut him off at. Going back to the Tower of Joy, follows Ned inside to find Ned finding his sister Lyanna Stark, who gives birth to a baby. And she tells Ned to promise me, you know, Robert, if he finds him, he will kill him. Protect him. Please promise me, Ned. And you see Ned Stark holding the baby with a tear in his eye, and they zoom in on the baby's face, and the very next scene you have is a zoom in of Jon Snow's face. So the theory of R plus L equals J is completely true. Rhaegar Targaryen and Lyanna Stark are Jon Snow's parents. Of course, this is the big thing people have been wondering, and this is the big theory as well. It's been pretty much connected to The Wandering ever since it began. All the way back to 1996, 98, whenever the first book actually came out, people have been wondering who Jon Snow's parents are, and it's been finally answered. And, you know, people since season 1 have been wondering when the show started, so it's just a big reveal, a fantastic scene, by the way. I had tears in my eyes watching it. It was incredible, absolutely enjoyed it. Very, 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 very fun stuff. Very, very good scene. Of course, you know, going into the Jon Snow scene, he is crowned king in the north. By, of course, all the houses that support House Stark. So it's very awesome to see Jon get crowned King of the North because, you know, Robb Stark was King of the North, and see him pretty much carry the King of the North be carried onto Jon Snow was a huge thing, and I think it's awesome that Jon Snow is now King of the North. It's something I predicted last year when the season ended back in September. I predicted Jon Snow to become King of the North, and it happened, so I'm very, very happy about that. And of course, you saw that tension a little bit with Sansa, you know, next to him, because, you know, Jon Snow is taking all the credit, and, you know, Sansa's kind of like, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have won the battle against the Bolton. So you saw her kind of get a little, not a little like greedy or kind of like pissed, but you saw her like, you know, in her face was kind of like, alright, thanks for not giving me any credit. So Jon Snow, King of the North, absolutely awesome. Of course, in Marine, you know, Daenerys was ready to take off with her ships and, you know, sail to King's Landing, it seems like, to finally take her rightful place in the throne. You know, she names Tyrion Hand of the Queen. So that was a nice little scene there as well. And of course, you see him on the ships going out. Dorne, the plot of Dorne is revisited with Varys, you know, showing up there, as well as Olenna. I keep Tyrell, something like that. I always forget her name. I just call her Grandma Tyrell. That's usually I call her. The whole thing there was very interesting. You know, Dorne, I think a lot of people were mad about episode 1 killing the Dorne plot offs, but apparently Dorne's plot's going to continue now, so people can stop complaining about that. So it's going to be interesting to see how the 3 alliances right there play out in the future. And of course, at the end, you do have Cersei get crowned Queen, because, you know, Tommen's dead, and who's going to take the throne? Cersei takes the throne. And another thing I forgot to mention before I wrap the episode up, you have, of course, the celebration with the Freys and Lannisters at, you know, the twins, which, you know, brought back memories of the Red Wedding. But of course, Walder Frey in a scene by himself is trying to feast, wondering where his sons are at. And of course, you know, the whole thing where his sons was killed and cooked into a pie happened, and Arya Stark, who is a faceless person now, takes her face off and kills Walder Frey herself. And it was just great vengeance, because I've been waiting for Walder Frey to die since season 3, so I thought it was great that Arya Stark was willing to kill him, considering that she was there when it happened. She just didn't see it happen, but, you know, she was there when the events took place at the Red Wedding, so I think it was full circle to see her be the one to kill Walder Frey. And just so much happened in this episode. It was absolutely incredible. Like I said, an amazing season finale. By far, probably the best episode of the entire season, arguably. Just so much happened in for 69 minutes, a lot happened, and it was just so much to take in that it was hard to digest everything that was happening. So it's like, man, so much is happening. Like, you got to keep it all, and just a lot of emotions, a lot of stuff happening. An incredible season finale. Then, of course, my thoughts on the overall season itself. The season was great. I thought it was an incredible season. I thought this is by far the best season of the show so far. And season 4 was my favorite season until this season happened. Just so much happened. It was a very, very fast-paced season as well. So much happened. It was boom, 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 boom. There's maybe like 1 or 2 slow episodes. You know, the first episode was pretty slow. Not too much happened in the opening of the season. But everything else is just 100 miles per hour. You had a lot of unexpected deaths, such as Roose Bolton. That was a huge unexpected death for me. I wasn't expecting that at all, but that was a very, very huge shocker. Hodor, of course, that was a huge death, and a very, very emotional death, because Hodor is such an innocent character. It's very shame to see him die. Balon Greyjoy, of course, I don't think anyone cared for him. Of course, Euron Greyjoy came to claim the Salt Throne, so in order to do that, he had to kill his brother, which he did. Of course, Ramsay Bolton finally dying, getting what he deserved, being devoured by his hounds, which was absolutely incredible. Well, just satisfying, saying incredible. But you had so much happen, and the pacing of the season was so fast. I won't say the perfect season, however, I do feel like it was a little too fast, and maybe just because, because I'm a person that likes in-depth things. I like to see things, like, I want to dig as much information as I can. And I feel like a lot of things were kind of just progressing really, really fast, and they didn't really take a chance to take a breath and slow down and, you know, pace it. So, you know, for a person that really likes the details and really likes to, you know, dig deep into the information, I felt like things happened pretty quickly. Like the battle for Jon Snow and Ramsay Bolton battle bastards. I think Jon gets his letter in episode 4, and they take off in episode 5, and episode 9 doing the battle. I would have wished to see that continue a little further, the storyline between the two of them. But, you know, it is what it is. And just, you know, like I said earlier, the soundtrack for this season was incredible. Very, very enjoyable soundtrack for this season. Just a lot of great things from their composer. So kudos to him. Just incredible season. I can't really speak a lot because so much happened in the season as well. It's hard to name every event happened, every death, every huge thing. Of course, Jon Snow coming back was the biggest thing up until the last episodes or so, because, you know, the whole 10-month wait, or excuse me, 5-year wait, depending if you're in the books or watch the show or did both. You've been waiting for that reveal of if Jon Snow's really dead, and come to it, Jon Snow's alive, gets brought back. Execute Alliser Thorne and Ollie, who, you know, Ollie was a great death to see, and Alliser Thorne was pretty surprising because he's been there since the beginning, so to see him go was kind of like, oh man, another original gone. But, you know, Jon Snow pretty much relinquishes his title as Lord Commander to pretty much go help Sansa out. So it was a great scene seeing Jon Snow, you know, give the infamous "my watch has ended" line while walking out of Castle Black. So just so many incredible things happened, and I can't even name the amount of times I got goosebumps watching every week. I got so many goosebumps because so many things were happening. A lot of things were finally coming together. You know, like I said, the season finale had so many things to take. You know, we have a lot of direction, I should say. You know, you have Daenerys, who has been trying to sail to King's Landing since the beginning, is finally going there. You have, you know, Jon Snow taking control of the North. Cersei Lannister is finally taking the throne. You have so many things pointing one direction, and you finally have a clear vision of where things are probably going to be going forward now. So it's very, very exciting to see how things progress in Season 7 as well as Season 8, because Season 8 is the final season. So it's going to be great to see how that plays out and everything there. But Season 6 gets 10 fingers, or 8 fingers and 2 thumbs up for it, because it was absolutely incredible. So many great episodes, so many events. So the returns were great too. You know, of course, you had the Tully family return with an Edmure and the Blackfish, but of course the Blackfish dies. You had the Houndmaker's return, which everyone thought was dead. You had Benjen Stark, who was a huge name that's been missing since the very beginning. It was last seen the 3rd episode of the series was the last time we saw him. And he makes his return as Cold Hands. So a lot of feels in this season. You know, you had some flashbacks with you know, Bran going back in time and seeing what's going on. Just so many feels. You had a lot of feels from Season 1 and Season 3, I feel like, you know, because especially Season 3, like I said, with the Tullys and storyline-wise and battles and how things played out, I feel like you had a lot of Season 3 feels as well in this season. So Just absolutely incredible. I'm very, very excited for Season 7. Only downside is you have to wait 10 more months until April for Season 7. But you know what? You know it's going to be worth the wait because Season 6 was worth the wait after Season 5 ended. You know what? Any season is worth the wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. The series is wrapping up, unfortunately, but you know what? This entire ride's been amazing, and I can't wait to see how it finally ends. And Season 7, Season 8 are going to be absolutely incredible. A lot of things happening. I feel like we're going to get a lot of characters coming together, as in, terms like we'll probably get Daenerys and, the Starks maybe coming up together. Daenerys landing on King's Landing, fighting Cersei. I think a lot of things are going to happen, and we're finally getting a lot of these characters we haven't seen together come together like we've saw this season as well as last season. So it's going to be incredible. It's going to wrap up strong, and I'm very, very excited to see how Game of Thrones ends with. So yeah, that's my video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed my review for Season 6, or my thoughts on Season 6, as well as the review of Episode 10, the season finale. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys once again for watching the video.